the departure of Flight 601 to Montreal and Toronto. Passengers for this flight should proceed through passport control on the first floor to the departure lounge. Passengers for BMAC Flight 601. Toronto Airlines announced the departure of the first of Flight 771 to Chicago and San Francisco. Passengers on this flight should proceed through passport control on the first floor to the departure lounge. This flight is now boarding at gate number 20. Israel Airlines announced the departure of Flight 15 to New York. Passengers for this flight should proceed through passport control on the first floor to the departure lounge.
Joelphobia is real.
For Ms. Frost, please contact the VOAC desk.
Hello? Hello? Hi everybody. Hi everybody. Hi everybody. I wait. Oh shit. I don't have a button for this. Oh, instantly fighting OBS. Okay. Hi everybody. You know, wait. 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 I forgot to do the info. Okay. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Why is this shit not in alphabetical order? Okay. 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 I remember how to do everything. Hello everybody. Hello everybody. It is time. It is happening again. It is happening once again. We are interviewing someone. I got a computer game from a yard sale, and the computer game said Eric plays bass, and it says I got a computer game that says Eric plays bass on it. Although it was kind of weird that when I looked it up, it said MrBrawl.com. You've learned only bass. I'm not playing bass. This is for the individual known as Eric. Can we get a yay? Can we get a hello? Can we get a yay hello? Yay hello. So let's get right to it. Let's turn on the computer. Let's turn on the computer. Where the fuck is the turn on the computer button? Guys, I lost my computer button. Guys, I found my computer button. Eric, Eric, you don't know who Eric is? Well, you're going to be introduced to Eric right now. Oh my god, hello?
Who's there?
Do you play?
I've been known to play some things.
Who are you? What are you?
I am Eric and I play bass. And I am a turtle.
I've seen your YouTube channel before. Eric plays bass, let me link it. I was unaware that you were a multi-instrumentalist.
You know, there's a lot of things that I can play. It's just I feel like the bass is the one that I can talk to people about. Like, yeah, I play bass,
I
but you know,
I was under the impression that your YouTube account was at Mr. Brawl, but it seems you're also at Eric Plays Bass 8765.
oh, is that actually the is that actually the numbers for it? I've never actually.
There's a different Eric Plays Bass.
Oh no.
The other Eric Plays Bass. Sorry, I need to share the screenshot to you and to the chat box of the two Erics that play bass.
There's an imposter. This is very sus.
Well, you could also be the imposter.
How dare you?
We could never know. So tell us who you are. You play bass. Tell us more.
Well, yeah, I'm Eric. I play bass. I've been streaming on twitch.tv for 8 years, I think, on and off, maybe. And that's the gist of it, really. There's more than that. There's more to it than that, but that's the important stuff, you know, is that you come in and you hear Eric and he's playing bass, and then sometimes he starts talking about anime that you don't know about, or maybe you do. and then he has bad taste in music.
Well, I wouldn't say your taste in music is bad. I just think you haven't listened to Tyler the Creator.
This is true. I've missed out on a lot of music so far that there's so little time, so much music to listen to that it's easy to forget that I should be exploring more music instead of listening to the same albums over and over again.
That kind of ended up being the thing that meant. Oh my god! Sorry, I got a bug on me.
Ah,
No more bugs.
oh, thank God.
So, what got you? So sorry. What are you current? Oh my god! You've been streaming for a while. What got you into that?
I first started streaming a little randomly when I just saw other people streaming video games mainly because I'm old enough to remember when Twitch was just TV and when it was just video game place. So dating myself quite a bit, but I never really thought I could do bass on stream until maybe 6 years ago or so, thereabout, when I realized that people enjoyed hearing me just play the bass. Like, I always knew I liked playing bass, but I didn't know that it was a thing that I could enjoy with other people. Like, because you spend when you learn an instrument, you spend so much time just in your own realm, just studying it and enjoying it and progressing at it. My guitar teacher always, because I started on guitar. That's what we'll get into that maybe an aside. But when I started, it was described to me as a game you can never master. And so the streaming aspect of it was me discovering, well, I may not have mastered anything, but I can still share it and people are going to like it. And yeah, that happened. I started streaming and people liked it for the most part and just kind of kept doing it. Just keep doing my thing and playing bass, and people click and they see that he plays bass, so they're like, "Yeah, I guess I'll click and find out what it's about," and they're not surprised.
So now this leads to the question: what got you playing bass?
When I back in the day when I was just a wee little good God-fearing little kid, I went to youth group. It was the thing you did to socialize with the kids your age in the church and everything, is a Christian, stuffy Christian church. And I fast met a friend who played guitar, was like the lead guitarist for the band, and he said you should come to the service and we can play in the band together. I'm like, okay, cool. And so I show up that I think that was on Wednesdays. I show up with my bass with my guitar because I had been still playing guitar. I had been playing guitar for 3 years before I even started touching the bass because I mainly wanted to be a guitar player. But I was playing more bass at the time, and then when I showed up to the band rehearsal for the praise and worship session, I was the third guitarist to show up of 4 total guitarists, and there was no bass player. And I just kind of looked around. I'm like, so who's playing the bass tonight? And they're like, no one. We don't have a bass player. I'm like, well, why did you let me bring my guitar? I can play bass too. And I started playing bass there and kind of never stopped because I realized that more people needed me when I played bass than more than when I played guitar. People didn't really need me when I played guitar because they already played themselves or knew someone, and no one played bass. I filled the role.
Do you play any other instruments as well as Eric playing bass?
So Eric plays bass. Eric plays guitar as well. Um, I guess you could count the Miku pedal that I have as a separate instrument, sorta. I play that. I have a guitar pedal that makes anything you plug into it sound like Miku. And then on that note, I haven't actually opened this yet. I still have this in the box. I'm looking at it. I'm side-eyeing it, but I have an automaton. It's this little, like, have you ever heard of those automatons?
Yes, I have. I love them, and let me get some visual reference for the chat box.
Yeah. show the chat. Hi, chat. I didn't say hi to chat either. Hello, chat. I hope you are well. Yeah, I have this automaton that looks kind of like Miku, and I haven't opened it yet. So I have to learn how to play that yet. But the only ones I really play are guitar and bass. I can sing a little bit as well, and I can say I can sit behind a drum kit and hold a beat. That's about it. And I guess I could do some various like percussion, because in high school there was no electric band in high school band, but so my teacher's like, you can go hit things, and banished me to the percussion section, which was actually great because usually we weren't the ones to fuck up. So usually I got to just sit in the back and do my homework for the next class that I didn't do the night before.
Percussion?
But yeah, that's all my instruments that I know now. And I can look at a keyboard and figure out a note, but it takes me a while.
The keyboard so many notes. They should make a keyboard with one note.
Yeah, I could do that. If someone would figure that out, I could probably do that. I maybe, I don't know. It could be a challenge, but I think I could figure that one out.
So, what are you currently up to? Like any project, any moves, any project, there's another word for project, I don't know what that is. Songs or original material / covers or / anything that you're currently up to?
Well, no. No, I don't have I should be working on an album of some sort right now, but I haven't started it. It's still in that, like, you know how when you talk to a stoner and they're like, I have concepts of a plan of things to do in my life. That's kind of my musical goals right now, is like, yeah, I'll get an album out here sometime, maybe eventually. So that's like the immediate goal, is to actually start working on an EP or an album. I'd start small. I mean, start with a song that's actually like 100% me. I do have I've been slowly working on ideas for the next stream endeavor, because Twitch music has been a bit of a crapshoot for a while now, but especially there's been recent changes to the DJ program. No, well, they added a DJ program to like kind of incentivize people to, hey, if you're gonna just stream music, then here, put yourself in this category so we can moderate this category. But if you don't go in that category, we might just permaban you. So I've been that's been weighing on my mind a lot recently. I haven't been streaming much music at all because of it, and just life in general. But yeah, the next thing that I want to work on is an album. I want to release works, because I always have musical ideas. I think any artist you talk to, they have ideas, they have concepts of plans, but they don't, when they become actual stepping stones to then lead to the end goal is a whole nother process that can take quite some time. So that's what's mostly been on my docket. And I guess in life in general, like I'm working on finding another job, working on finding a better job. That's the most immediate goal, actually, is try to find a better job.
The endless wheel of I need a job, I need a better job, I need dollars.
I'm sitting in that room, and someone, in this case my roommate's opening the door, and, are you winning, son? I'm just like, I just need to lock in. I just need to lock in.
My competitive LinkedIn session / indie, depending on the vibe. So you were talking about an album. I need to stop saying so. Talking about an album. You were talking about wanting to do an album. So you were talking about wanting to make an album. Do you have any ideas of what type of music you'd want to make, like genre-wise / vibes-wise?
I think that's the scariest thing about trying to make the album, is I have no clue. And this is not to sound pretentious or anything, far from it. I've been listening to too many different genres of music in the last couple years to really go like, A, what am I really good at? And B, what do I want to be good at? and then see what do I make from that. So, because there's no rule that says you have to be good at music to make music. I often preach the opposite, like just make art and just like make it happen. But the problem with me is I'm a horrible perfectionist when it comes to music, and like I constantly review anything I've recorded to like scrutinize it and go, oh, you missed that note. Oh, you flubbed that one a little bit. Ah, you should have went here instead. You're dumb. You stupid. You suck. I hate you. Stop it. Just quit. That's like the constant like ebb and flow of an artist, with musical artists anyway. So when it comes to actually deciding what album I want to make or like what kind of like plan I have, I'm just like, okay, what genre is it? And then I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what I can narrow in on, because I can do a lot. I can play a lot of different things. I love funk. I love rock. I love hip hop. I love classic rock. I love like just stoner stuff. I love drone. Sometimes I've been listening to Boris a lot recently, actually.
Here's
I finally listened to, what's that?
Here's perk up hearing Boris mentioned.
Yeah, I finally listened to the album Akuma no Uta because
Ooh.
I really love Nick Drake. If I had to pick a favorite like individual artist, it's probably Nick Drake. Maybe it's tough to say. The favorites are not a label I like to ascribe because it makes me decide on things, and decisions are scary. But I love Nick Drake, and I know that Akuma no Uta is the album cover is a parody of Brighter Later, the second Nick Drake album. So it's always been on my mind to listen to that record, knowing full well what Boris is about. So I'm like, what are they gonna do? Like, what's this gonna be about? And I was pleasantly surprised that it was just really fucking awesome, like drone metal, stoner rock, freak out stuff. It was great. I was walking around my neighborhood blaring that in my headphones the other day. It was absolutely beautiful. I loved it. So that's the thing though, is when it comes to making my own music, I don't know how to lock in on like one genre. So then the next obvious thing is like, well, just start combining stuff. But just saying like, well, just start combining is like when you're trying to learn how to cook and you're like, how do I make this? You're like, oh, you just start combining shit in a bowl and just stir it up and just make it. Duh. It's like it's not that easy. So yeah, that I don't know. I think if like gun to my head, what's going to be what I record, it's probably going to be rock influenced mainly, because that's most of what I do and have done and was inspired by early on and going on forward. And maybe some funk angle, some light hip hop angle, and I really want to make progressive dream funk a reality. I think that's one of my like stretch goals. I want to make progressive dream funk a reality. Have you heard of that term before?
I have not. This is new to me.
It's an ancient meme at this point, I think, because I have to relent that every meme that I remember is ancient at this point, because I am a meme grandpa in this modern age of the internet. And it was an old Mew meme from the 4chan music board, where this really cromulent looking figure is going on the boards today to see who's arguing what. And the meme basically was like, I can't believe some people think progressive dream funk is better than underwater bubblecore. I can't remember what the other genre was. It was something else. But the progressive dream funk was the part of the meme that stood out to me. And I actually want to make that a genre, because it just sounds like something I would love. Because I love funk. I love like shoegazy, atmospheric stuff. And I have a soft spot for progressive music, because I used to spend a lot of time in high school progging out. So I want to combine all that together. But that's like a third album thing. That's like I've made it, and then I'm going to like stretch my wings a little bit. That's Pinkerton Weezer. That's when they had their first album and they did really well. And then they're like, wait, I'm really sad and stuff. I'm going to make an album about being really sad and stuff. And then everyone hates it. And then you're like, I hate everything. And then years later go, actually, I meant to do it. It was all intentional, baby. All part of the plan.
It's never a failure. It's always intentional. Always go with that. Never see it as a fail. See it as a learn.
Always failing up.
Yeah.
At least if you're going to fail, you got to fail up.
So you have a YouTube channel. Can you tell me about the YouTube?
Yeah, my YouTube channel was originally called Mr. Brawl. Back in the again dating myself, back in 2005, I used to spend a lot of time on an IRC chat about dedicated to the Mushroom Kingdom, which the general Super Mario Brothers, like just Mario fandom. Because you know, when you're a middle schooler and you have certain interests, you start broadening out to before you start broadening out the stuff, you have just fixed interests on whatever you're, you know, whatever you like at the time. And I was really into Mario games and specifically Super Smash Brothers Melee. And so chatting online, my name was Mr. Melee because I was all into that was my favorite game. And then when I went to go make a YouTube account, as at the urging of my friends, because they learned I played an instrument, they're like, "You should make videos and post them online." I'm like, okay. And especially at the time, I just finally gotten cable internet access, and then moved on from dial-up. Did you have dial-up internet at one point?
I remember I remember one of my first memories is my mom giving me a laptop that had AOL on it and I did not know how to read.
No.
So I'm assuming that had dial-up on it.
Most likely, it is probably the classic case of you open your mailbox and you get a disc that had 9,999 hours of free internet, or 999. I can't remember how many. It was a lot of nines, and it made you feel really powerful, like you were gonna have like the world at your fingertips,
And you
which you kind of
did.
did in a way. Yeah.
I remember finding the disc.
Um.
I was like not sure what any of it meant, but I really liked the design and how shiny they were. And I remember I was like
Yeah.
5 trying to eat one.
They were super shiny and very like if it wasn't eye catching enough with all the graphics, you kind of look at the disc like, what artist is this? And you put in your CD player and you're like, I can't listen to this. This is nothing. But that's the old days. And when I moved on from that to cable internet, I could join YouTube properly because at first I could only get YouTube at school because back in middle school, they had real internet and I had dial up at home, so I couldn't. I think I made my YouTube account at school, maybe. No, I made it home. I definitely made it at home. Either way, I went to make it, and Mr. Melee was taken by some random Scandinavian person. I'm pretty sure. So at the time, there was the sequel to Super Smash Brothers Melee in development called Super Smash Brothers Brawl. And so I quote unquote evolved according to one of my odd-line friends and became Mr. Brawl. And that was my YouTube name up until like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I left it as Mr. Brawl for a long time, which is why, like you mentioned earlier, if you go to my actual YouTube account, my handle is my display name's Eric Plays Bass now, but my if you actually click on the channel, it says at Eric, Mr. Brawl. So that's the ancient lore. Those are the ancient texts. Nardwar better be listening because Nardwar is going to pull that out of the vault.
Speaking of Nardwar, I need to channel an inner Nardwar real quick. So, can you tell me about the Mushroom Kingdom form Guide to Kissing?
Oh, I can. I was there,
Explain.
lurking in the shadows.
So I'm gonna need you to explain what this is and what it means.
This is real ancient lore. This is anyone that's listening in, you got to buckle up. This is the real shit right here. So there was a thread called Guide to Kissing posted on the general chat one day by this user named Markio. You get it? They like Mario, but their name is Mark. So it's Markio. As you might expect, this person had never kissed a woman before, so they needed advice on how to do such a thing. And they had a plan that they were going to audition for a role in, I can't remember which play it was. I don't think it was Macbeth. It was some play. And to get a like leading role or a role that would involve kissing a woman. And that would be their first kiss. So, but they were also scared about it because, it's your first kiss. So like, what do I do? How do I do it? Like, what's this about? What how do I make this normal? And so people in the chat, or in the forum, this was back when forums were the main communication device on the internet. People were trying to give the guy advice, and one user by the name of TEM, also I think it stood for the Eggman, posted a picture of his dog Boba Fett with a little like rainbow background. It might have been his friend Lizard Dude that was also on the website that posted the edit with his dog on the pinwheel colors thing. But either way, that's where that happened, and then that got cross posted to YTMND, I think it was, and probably 4chan as well. Yeah, definitely 4chan as well. But it was the whole idea of the image was that he's like, here, practice with my dog, because it was like a friendly picture of a dog, and he's like, print this out and pretend to kiss it as your friendly guide dog helper thing. And the image took off like wildfire. Yeah, I see it. The computer is showing it. That's it. And yeah, I mean, it's a happy little dog. How could you look at that face and not feel at bliss and at peace? So that was supposed to be Markio's guide to help him, with his kissing problem. And it ended up becoming the first advice animal. It spawned Satan himself on the internet. And I didn't post in the thread, but I was definitely there. I was reading the thread. I used to be the top poster of the Mushroom Kingdom, in fact, which is not a brag. I needed help. It was a cry for help. Ancient lore. These are texts that might get. I hope they don't get lost to history. I hope that these last in some capacity.
I am honestly surprised to hear that the advice animal thing started from Super Mario Forum, and that you were witnessing Ground Zero, because I always assumed it was a something awful thing.
And it definitely has crossplay there too. I'm pretty sure the people involved, like I mentioned, they posted it to YTMND, which was it's still around. His website. You're familiar with YTMND?
Oh yeah, I saw so much gore on that website when I was like 8.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right. So You're the Man Now dog got a lot of, I think, crossover there. Early internet days were like that. It was very insular, so people kind of knew everything. And I didn't go to something awful. I didn't really go on 4chan then. That would come later in life for me, or later in adolescence rather. But yeah, there was a lot more crossover between communities. It's depending on the communities. I mean, of course, there have also been bitter rivalries between communities over the years. So, but yeah, it's definitely the Wild West days of the internet for sure, and very strange that I've been not a meme keeper, but just kind of I almost feel like I'm a Forrest Gump in some ways, where no name pun intended.
I mean,
I feel like I've witnessed a lot of historical events through the internet anyway. So most events that have nothing to do with any sort of real life importance on a real level. I mean, but Advice Dog, and I swear, even to this day, like I've had memes that I feel like I've seen grow in organic ways, from getting more involved with the VTuber community, and yeah, just being around for so long. Just and and it's amazing too that there's still things to this day I miss. There are ancient references that I missed that now I learn about too. So there's always more memes and fun things to learn about, to share. Hopefully share to, entertain us all.
I am curious to hear, you talked about, what do you say you grew up using online forums?
Definitely. I growing up though happened after, but I was a terrible human being to interact with, I feel like, back in the forum days. But they helped me grow in return, for as awful as a little kid I was, I definitely cut my teeth learning how to talk to people online by spending countless hours on forums and chat rooms. And I can't. I was trying to think about this the other day. In fact, like the Mushroom Kingdom was just one that I spent a lot of time on. There was a forum for an internet webcomic that I don't think exists anymore called Fanboys. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh, that just like whipped something out of me.
The throwback.
That was something I like remember. Something I remember existing, and me trying like so hard to find it. But I was like, "Where the fuck is this?"
Yeah, it is one of those like it's not a classic webcomic, at least at this point. It hasn't had its like it's what kind of moment would it be? Like, a moment where someone finds an old panel or an old thing and makes it a meme, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, "What is this thing?" Oh, it's this old webcomic. So it hasn't had its moment like that yet, but definitely was around there. Man, I'm just trying to remember all the old webcomics I used to read. But that was anyway. That Fanboys was one I was on the forums for a while. I actually found drawings that I made for a choose your own adventure, like or create your own adventure thread on the Fanboys forum. And I'm not much of a draw artist. I am pretty bad at drawing, but I tried, and I found the evidence of that recently while looking for my high school diploma, which I could not find, but I found these drawings. So, I really won in the end. But yeah, those two I spent a lot of time on, and in general, yeah, especially the Maple Story days, those were the last days where I spent most of my time online, I think, talking to people in mainly bitter ways. It's been a lot of bitterness, a lot of arguing, 4chan included, there's just, but I think I've been getting better as a person as a result from looking back on those days and realizing what I did and what I believed might not have been the best things to think. And I'm better for it now, I think. Still learning, at least always learning too. That's a big thing. Some people just get sucked into a very insular community like 4chan and never change and only get worse. So
It's pretty easy to become like the worst version of yourself when you're just in a environment that just lets you act like the worst version of yourself unchecked. So it's
yeah,
always good to have a growth mindset and to be able to recognize that like, oh, whoopsie, or that was kind of fucked up. I shouldn't do that type of thing.
totally. Yeah, and it takes getting out of that comfort zone. It especially like I mentioned earlier, I went to a Christian. Uh, I was a Christian upbringing, so stepping out of that and realizing like, oh, there's like a lot of different people out there and a lot of different viewpoints was very crucial to learning how to be a better person in general. And that was something that being online also taught me, thankfully, that there's a lot of different people out there, and the world isn't all America. There are people that like things that you don't like, and that's okay. That's fine. That's good.
We can't all be the same. We don't all live in it. So we all have
Yeah.
to open our eyes, see what's going on. Where am I?
And that's fun too, like when someone says that they like this band and you go, I've never heard of that before, your response should be like, well, maybe check it out. Maybe I'll like it. And if you don't, then you go, oh, okay, well, that wasn't for me, but I tried.
Yeah.
I gave it a no thank you bite, as my dad would call it when I was a kid. Can I give it a no thank you bite?
And it's also good to expose yourself to things even if you don't like it, because it's like if someone's telling you, "Oh, I like this," and then you listen to it, it's like, and you can like think to yourself like, "This is hot ass," but like I know more about you now, and I'm like happy I can connect with you in that way.
Yeah. It's all about finding the common ground and building up from there.
Yeah. So, I have another question to Nardwar out once again. Can you
Mm.
tell me about a sexy socialite?
Yes. The famous Chromeo song turned famous Eric plays bass moment. Much like on a night tonight, like I was just chilling, streaming on Twitch, and I was doing my bass thing. It was I think it was post quarantine COVID, but still like we're still all pretty freaked out. We're all worried and just figuring it out. And I was just I think it was a Saturday night, I was borrowing a bass. So it was the first time I was playing my friend's jazz bass, actually. And it was kind of a difficult night in that way, since it was much different from, without getting nerdy about bass differences and stuff. It was a much different bass, and much harder to play bass than what I was used to. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just have a fun time, no matter what. And so I was drinking a fair amount, and I think earlier in that stream I had recorded videos of me playing Hysteria by Muse at 150% speed and YYZ by Rush at 125%. So it was a very casual, very just like, fuck it, let's try something new tonight moment. And in the request queue, I can't remember who requested it. It's in the video that's on my YouTube. It is on my YouTube. You can find it out there. Someone requested "Sexy Socialite" by Chromeo. And it's a great song. I love that song. Probably my favorite off of that album, which is called White Women. It's the Chromeo album, White Women. And yeah, song's a banger and a half. And while playing it, I'm getting into it, just having fun, having a good time. Wearing my Strong Bad shirt. There's more ancient internet lore for you.
Love Strong.
Oh man,
Love
Homestar Runner was so good. And they're still up. I just saw a upload today or yesterday, a Halloween upload. I didn't watch it yet, but I love that I can still subscribe. I can subscribe to Homestar Runner's YouTube page and get just teleported back to the mid 2000s. It's so fun.
How did Teacher make it like have a Homestar Runner bit in like 4 years ago when I was doing my undergrad for environmental stuff, and I was like, where am I?
What year is it? What's happening? So it was yeah, it was just casual times. And right after I got done playing I'm getting near the end of the song, and there's a big just like an outro section. It lasts for a long time, and so I was like, well, I'll do a little bass solo time. And so I go over and I hit my fuzz pedal that I had at the time to make a little, just do a whatever crazy bass solo or something. And all of a sudden I get an alert for, I have a, how you have custom alerts on Twitch where, if you donate X amount of dollars, it'll play a normal alert. And then if you donate above a threshold, it'll play like a crazy one. My crazy one went off and I was like, oh my God. And I look over and see that it's $150 and was it 41 cents, I think. $150 donation from screen name Davey504. I was like, I first of all, I was just shocked at how much money. That's a lot of money, at least for me. That's a lot of money. So I was like floored from the donation, and then double floored when I saw the username, and just I think it was one word, just slap with a lot of P's. So it was slap, and so I slap, and it went off, and it was cool and it was fun, and everyone in chat immediately was just like, what? Like, first, what crazy donation to what? Davey504? And if anyone doesn't know, Davey504 is like the premier bass player on YouTube. Like, he's been doing it, I think, about as long as I have, maybe even less time. But he's been like, he's the big like meme YouTuber for bass players too. Like, he makes a bunch of goofy reaction videos and bass memes and recreating songs on bass. He's a like, it doesn't get talked about enough, but he's a great bass player. He really is an excellent, like, just solid bass player in general. But I think people, of course, like especially a lot of kids, latch onto his fun, just his humor. And at the end of it, I'm like, well, thanks, Davey. That's a lot of money. Thank you. And I slap a little bit more, and that's it. And he vanishes into the night. I don't think he talked in chat at all. And I told my chat, like, guys, I think this is actually Davey, because, not to dox Davey, but I went into the PayPal window and looked at the name. I'm like, well, their first name's Davey, so, and their last name
504.
That's yeah, last name 504. So I think this might be them, guys. I think I might be in a video or something. And about a month later, Davey uploads the YouTube video. I forget what the title was, but it's basically like I asked Twitch streamers to do this or you know whatever clickbaity type of thing. You can find it on his YouTube. It's got the cover has Herman Lee from Dragon Force on it because he's also in the video and followed me as after the video came out too. Yeah, donating to musicians on Twitch, but only if they do this. And about a minute and 51 in or minute 50 in, your boy Eric Plays Bass is in there, and yeah, he edited me up pretty good because I messed up a little bit, and it was good. It was fun. It was really fun, and yeah, that's the sexy socialite lore, and I uploaded that like entire uncut moment on my YouTube account for everyone to enjoy. So it was great. It was a really fun moment. I'm very thankful to Davey, of course, for doing that twice. In fact, there's a second one actually. People kind of forget about, myself included, but it happened one more time, but not as legendary as that one. So, yeah, thanks for digging into the deep lore.
I'm not gonna lie. I did not do this research. Archibald did. This is what I meant by conspiring.
Oh,
So I have.
I expect it. The Archibald's been around for a long time. Archibald's been watching my stupid YouTube videos for longer than I expected anyone to. So shout outs Archibald.
I'm sorry, I lied about that. This is not real. The shout out is not real. I made this up.
No.
I don't know.